Hello, in today's video we'll be taking a look at the Monday, June 29, 2026 trading session for the SPX CBOE index. We'll be utilizing two indicators. One is the day trading GPS SPX daily key levels V3.0 indicator, and the other is our newest ribbon indicator, the Ribbon V3.0 Multi-Reset Edition, which has preset resets as well as custom resets for indexes, stocks, ETFs, futures, Forex, and any global market. Okay, in today's session we had a full gap above for our market scenarios. We have market scenario 2. Full gap above means the entire pre-market range PML to PMH is above YDH, as opposed to just a technical gap up, which would be where just the open is above yesterday's daily high, but not necessarily the entire pre-market range is above yesterday's high. If you go into the user control panel for the daily key levels V3.0 indicator, you go down to the bottom, you have a market scenario analysis table. You can turn on. This market scenario analysis table will give you an explanation of today's market scenario. There are 6 different market scenarios that SPX can be in on any given day. So this is market scenario 2. And you have an explanation, tendency, what to expect, the key trading characteristics and dominant tendencies of this type of market scenario. Also, what key levels as far as the contextual key levels, YDH, YDL, PMH, and PML, matter and are the priority in this particular type of market scenario. And in gaps, we have it narrowed down to small, medium gaps versus large to extreme gaps as to which key levels are going to matter the most depending on the size of the gap. Now you also, when you subscribe to this indicator for lifetime access, you also get in addition to the PDF user guide manual, you also get a link to the cheat sheets for the 6 market scenarios. So you don't necessarily have to pull up that table on your chart. You can simply go to this document, you can print it out, download it to your computer so you can view it on your screen, or you can print it out. So for example, you still have the same thing here, market scenario 2, full gap above, and you'll have a little bit more information here than what's on the one on the chart, just because we have more room here. But it's basically the same information for each different market scenario, key trading characteristics, dominant tendencies, what to look out for, any reversals or traps, key level priorities as far as the key levels of those 4 contextual levels, etc. Okay, so let's just go back to the chart here. Okay, so with this ribbon, it now has preset reset filters for different groups of asset classes. You have U.S. indexes, U.S. stocks and ETFs, where it has a 4 a.m. reset for the pre-market as well as a 9:30 RTH. U.S. equity index futures like ES and Q, etc. You have one for the Globex overnight session at 6 p.m., one for the London session, one for the New York RTH session. You also have separate one for other futures like metals, energy, rates, treasuries, currencies, etc. Those have different RTH opens than the equity indexes, but it has the same Globex overnight. Then you have all the different sessions for Forex, and then you have 4 user-defined, custom-defined session filters, which you can enable on your own. You can rename them whatever you want. You pick the time zone that you're in. So if you're a global trader and you trade, let's say you trade stocks in the European market or other markets outside the US, then this is handy because you can set the specific reset for the specific time zone for the specific indices or stocks that you may be trading in other global markets outside the United States. But specifically to SPX, we have enable filter for US indices. Right now the filter's off. So you can see what happens here on a day where you have a significant gap up. You're going to get this hangover effect from the previous close. And this can be a problem if there is a significant reversal early on in the session, as we had today. So the advantage of this ribbon is that you can use it in many different ways. You can use it with the filter off as a standard ribbon. You can specifically set which filter for what you're trading. So in this case, US indices. So we'll just go ahead and turn it on. So as you can see here, it's reset at the beginning of the 9:30 RTH session. So we're able to see this reversal a lot more cleanly off of where it started out at. So we're seeing the reversal early, and that enables us to get into a bearish trade early. Whereas if we have the filter off, as you can see here, you're not really seeing a bearish entry to here, and then that's really too late because this is where it turns around. Now, with this sort of filter on the ribbon, you can use it both ways. You can have a split screen if you only have a single monitor. You could also have a dual monitor setup if you have a multiple monitor setup, where you could just simply have one chart with the filter off and one chart with the filter on. And that can come in very useful as well, because if we take a look here, after this move down, if you had on a second monitor or you had a split screen, then you would see this after the big move down. So right now you're seeing with the filter off. Now this is with the filter on. Now after this big move down, which is basically filling in yesterday's daily close, YDC. So it's filling in the gap. And this is a common occurrence with gap ups, filling in the gap. And you can switch to the regular non-filter ribbon at this time. So if you're doing that, then you're getting in early on the bullish move back up, because it's happening here versus with the filter on, not really seeing it till up here. So that's one big advantage with this particular ribbon indicator, is being able to utilize either a split screen on a single monitor to have both filter on and filter off, or if you have multiple monitors, then you can simply have one chart with the filter on and one chart on another monitor with the filter off. Because there can be instances, such as in today's session, where both become useful, and you can see the early reversals off the reset, and you can also see the early swing back earlier on the standard ribbon. So that's one of the advantages of having this sort of ribbon indicator. Now, as far as today's trades, you're starting off the session here, regardless of whether you have the filter on, such as we have here, or the filter off, you're still getting a bullish read right off the bat. So filter off, filter on, still getting a bullish read, getting a close above the bull bear KPL, getting an all green ribbon, upper bands of the ribbon starting to pull away. However, no follow through on this, and ultimately this gets stopped out either here on the QL below the tight stop loss if you use that one, or mid BBKPL S1, first midpoint below the level we're basing the bullish trade on, the bull bear KPL, getting stopped out either one on this candle here, 956. So this is a loss here. However, jumping in on this bearish trade here, basing it on a close below the bull bear KPL, because now we have a reversal ribbon, or jumping in on a PML YDH close and basing the trade on that level. So it just really depends which level you want to base your trade on, which key level, as opposed to what your stop loss is going to be. If you're going to use the PML or YDH with this indicator, you simply go into the user control panel, go down to the contextual level trading section, stop loss and take profit levels for PML, PMH, YDL, YDH, and YDC. First, you have the bullish section. Then you have the bearish section after that. Just pick the level that you're taking the trade on, select either tight stop loss or standard stop loss, and it will generate the stop loss on the chart for you and signify what level that stop loss is on, whether it's tight or standard. Then you can pick from the drop down menu your take profit target as well. In this particular case, we did get a significant move down, hit YDC. Taking a trade off the bull bear key price level, you got a 2-level move down to the S2 level here. Getting out here is quite a significant trade here, more than overcame the losses up here. So after that, you have a move back up. Now, as we mentioned, you can switch if you have the dual ribbon on, either on a split screen or on a multiple monitor, then you're going to see this right away earlier, because you have one with the ribbon filter on and one with the off. So if you have it off, then you're seeing this, again, this another reversal move here. Now you've got this S1 level here. The ribbon's not green enough here for the for anything off S2. It's still in transition, so the first opportunity here is on S1. Close above S1, all green ribbon, and upper bands pulling away from the base. Stop loss QL below S1 for your tight stop loss, or midpoint below for the standard stop loss, and we get a nice 2-level move up to R1. Now, something else you can do with this ribbon when you're trading something like SPX is also look at the VIX. Use this ribbon with the VIX, and it can give you some early clues, and I'll show you that now. Okay, so here we have the VIX, which is the S&P 500 Volatility Index. Now we have this on a 15-second chart. So I prefer a 15-second chart for this. That doesn't mean you have to use it on a 15-second chart. I just prefer it if I'm using a 2-minute chart for my other trading on the SPX. I prefer a smaller chart for the VIX, a sub 1-minute chart. That doesn't mean that you have to use one. If you feel more comfortable using a 1-minute or 2-minute chart on the VIX as well, that's fine. But basically, you can see the turnaround here. So we have, to start off the session, as you can see here, let's just go ahead and mark out 9:30. All right, close enough. All right, so you can see here when the VIX is moving down, that's generally, unless we just have some monster announcement like Trump announces the war's off or something incredibly bullish news comes out, you can get a spike in volatility on bullish moves as well if they're something where there's just an immediate jolt spike. However, in most cases, what you're really looking at is when the VIX is spiking up, it's generally a move down. And when the VIX is going down, generally we're moving up or moving sideways. So basically here you have around 956. I remember that was basically, if we go back to the chart, the start of the move down. So we're getting kind of an early read here because we're getting a green ribbon of the VIX spiking up, and as you can see here, it almost went completely vertical. And that's when they get the big move all the way down to YDC from here to here. So this is basically close below the BBKPL, hitting YDC here, hitting S2 about here. Then we get a bullish reversal, and the rest of the day, as you can see, complete retrace on the VIX, broke back through the lows, and continued trending downward the rest of the day. Going back to the other chart, if you just want to look at it, just remember here, 954, 956, and then up here at the very top, about 1016. So we're getting this 956 here, this candle here, then we get this here. 1016, we're getting the turnaround here. Then at around 1026 to 1030, then we're getting a fully red ribbon on the VIX with the bands separating. So 1026 to 1030, that's here. 1024, 1022, 1024, 1026 is here. 1028 is here. So it could be also used as kind of confirmation. You can also look at the angle of the move as well. So we're getting a sharp angle up, sharp angle down. Kind of starts flattening out here. But generally, the rest of the day, it's moving down. Rest of the day, it's moving in a, after this initial monster bounce here, which goes all the way back up to the bull bear key price level, then you're getting sort of a grinding upward movement the rest of the day. But nevertheless, you have a bullish entry on S1 here. If you wanted to wait for additional confirmation to see if it's going to get above PML and YDH here, then you have that here. You still get a nice move up after that as well. So whether you're getting in the early reversal move here or waiting for further confirmation for whether it's going to break above PML and YDH. Okay, so we're having a special right now. If you are interested in the SPX Daily Key Levels V3.0 indicator, you can look at the description of this video, and there'll be links to other videos that go over the daily strategy. We have a 10-minute explainer video, and then we also have a video that's about an hour and a half long, which goes into the full strategy, how all the levels work, a closer look at the indicator and user inputs, and then also the full daily key level strategy and how that works in trading SPX options. And there's also a link to a features video which goes over in length some of the other features in more detail, which is broken up by chapters, so you can simply go to the chapter on a specific feature you'd like to look at. This indicator has a lot of features built into it. We haven't gone into a tenth of the features that it does have in this particular video today, but you can go ahead and look at those other videos if you're interested. There's also a link to the full video on the new day trading GPS Ribbon 3.0, and it goes over many different examples of there for using it on futures, using it on stocks, using it on indexes, using it on Forex, and also using it in global markets such as, for example, trading indices in other markets such as the FTSE or the DAX or the Nifty 50 in India, etc. If you are interested in purchasing either the Ribbon indicator or the SPX daily key levels indicator, you can send us an email at promo code at daytradinggps.com. That's promo code at daytradinggps.com to request a discount promo code, and we will send you a promo code for a substantial discount on your purchase. The SPX daily key levels indicator is available by itself. It's also available in a package, the SPX suite, which has SPX daily key levels V3.0 indicator, also the Ribbon indicator in the package, and also our special VWAP for SPX for TradingView. Many of you may not already know, on TradingView there is a problem with native VWAPs for trading either SPX CBOE symbol or the mini index, the XSP. So as an example, I could just go ahead and show you that real quick. Okay, if we go to indicators under technicals, you go down to volume weighted average price, that's VWAP. You could also do the VWAP auto anchored. So you can see here there's no VWAP. And we have this red exclamation point, no volume data. There's no red exclamation point here, however, there's still no VWAP. Typically, there will also be a red exclamation point on this one. So either native VWAP, there's no volume data. And it's not a TradingView problem, it's just simply because the global indices feed from CBOE to TradingView does not include volume data, and of course you need volume data in order to have a VWAP. So our VWAP is DTGPS VWAP for SPX as well as XSP CBOE index. And you see now we have VWAP. It references an external data source and gives you institutional grade VWAP for SPX and XSP. So, VWAP is also very useful in trading as well. Some people like to use it. Some people don't find it very useful. I prefer to have it on there because it's always good to know where VWAP is, and especially the VWAP bands. So you have these 3 upper bands and 3 lower bands below it. The VWAP is in all blue. The reason it's all blue instead of maybe the normal yellow is because we have the 2 thick yellow moving averages within the ribbon. So it'd be a little confusing if this one was also yellow, so it's just easier to make it a different color. You can make it whatever color that you want. You can also change the standard deviation bands. You can also change the anchor period, although the default is a session. You can also change it to something else if you'd like to do some studying of SPX on a longer chart. So the SPX suite includes all 3 of those indicators, the VWAP for SPX, for TradingView, SPX daily key levels V3.0, and then also the Ribbon V3.0. So if you are going to email us requesting a discount promo code, just tell us whether you'd like a promo code for the Ribbon by itself, the daily key levels V3.0 by itself, or the SPX suite. All right, thank you for taking the time for watching today's video, and we wish you much prosperity in all your future trading.